Hey everyone, Graham Leer, Paranormal Researcher. I just want to see if I can pick up EVPs. This is my nephew's grave. Angus Graham Leer, born 14th of April 1989 to 2nd of December 94, age 5.5 years, sadly missed by mummy, daddy, sister Rachel. All God's angels come to us disguised. So we've also got on the right side of Angus, we've got this lovely little girl called Tanya. And she died, I think she died about 11 years old. So, and that's, the parents have been visited. What they've done is they've put two little plots, one for the mum and one for the dad. See, that's why there's space there. She was only a darn, a lot of little kids buried at this cemetery, you know. Now we've got Angus's neighbours, the Rezeks, Gerard Rezek and Trudy. The first person to be buried in the Rezeks was Michael. He's actually a buddy of mine. Michael comes through to me a lot. He was a person, young, he died when he was 20. They might have died of cancer or in a car crash. And he died in 1984. Dearly loved by, sadly missed by mum and dad, who are now next to him. Peter, Gunther and Charmaine, they might have been his friends, will always be remembered as a great mate. See what I mean? And I've actually done EVPs with here, and I've got this person come through saying, I'm still here. So it's not Angus, but I'm pretty sure it could be Michael. So anyway, that's all I've got to say really. So, you know, we'll just do a run around. I've just visited Dad. We get Mum and I are going to go to the shops now. Okay, we're about to go to the shops very soon. Okay, so I'll just do see if there's any black shadows. I have seen this cemetery is very strange because they had the Battle of Vinegar Hill here. They had people who were anti-government here, and this is actually Vinegar Hill, right where we are now. So there's you know, a lot of people died here prior to this cemetery even being built. Hello folks, Graham Leer, Paranormal Researcher. This is the exact area not too far away from Angus's grave, which is where the Battle of Vinegar Hill occurred. Okay, so I'll just move the camera around here. Sorry about the hand. So this is at Castlebrook Lawn Cemetery. This is where the battle occurred, right here. Okay, so a lot of people lost their lives here. So this is a monument built to those who lost their lives in the Battle of Vinegar Hill. See? This is the monument. Okay, just says the Battle of Vinegar Hill. So I think it was occurred in, they said 1804. You know, soldiers of the New South Wales Army Corps, supported by settlers, soldiers, see that? Supported by settlers and members of the Parramatta Loyalist Association, came upon rebellious Irish convicts who had broken out of Castle Hill barracks. The previous evening, in the initial battle, 15 of the insurgents were killed at the battlefield and an additional 30 were killed in the day-long pursuit, it says here. The aim of the rebels, the majority of whom were political prisoners, was to flee Australia and find freedom in another country. Although the authorities meted out severe punishments, many of the convicts subsequently settled in land and became worthy citizens of their new country. These and other settlers forged the love of liberty and equality, which have become the birthright of all Australians, whatever their origins. This memorial is a bicentennial project, was erected to commemorate the pioneering spirit of the early settlers. You know, and it says here then, Blacktown City Council memorial to the Battle of Vinegar Hill, officially unveiled the Honourable, and it says 1988, right? Alderman, we don't care about those people, they're just red tape people, government people. The memorial to the Battle of Vinegar Hill was to commemorate the pioneering spirit of the early settlers, and tells the growth of the Australia from 1788, commencing from the left, the first fleet sails into Sydney Harbour. There is conflict pictured in the uprising here at Vinegar Hill in 1804, with guns and raised in anger. there is a desperate struggle with starvation, the elements and the isolation. The apex of the memorial celebrates the energy of the settlers, both free and freed, as they persevere and show pioneering spirit that this memorial seeks to commemorate. There is a turning point where Australians come together as one nation. The right wall depicts continuous building to a future of which all Australians, where their origins are proud. The memorial was designed by I. Pollock and V. Sitter and won an Australian-wide competition conducted by Blacktown City Council in 1985. Blacktown got its name because it was the highest settlement of black Indigenous people in Australia. That's where the word black... I used to live in Blacktown years ago, okay? And it's got about 500,000 people live here, 500,000 in Blacktown, you know. And it says here, the Vinegar Hill, on Sunday 6th of March 2005, this historic area was officially named Vinegar Hill by the Honourable Tony Kelly LSC, Minister of Lancis, Minister for Local Government. It will remain as a paramount reminder of the historic battle that took place in the location on 5th of April 1984 and of the ideals and aspirations it represents. So then we've got another, it's a lot, you know, I think this is a good design here. And it says here, this is another section, if you just want to have a look here, this is quite interesting. There's a lot of different things here. I won't be here all day because I've got to go to shops with Mum. It says, this plaque commemorates the bicentenary of the Battle of Vinegar Hill, which took place close to this spot on 5th of March 1804, following an uprising by mostly Irish prisoners at the Castle Hill Government Farm on the previous evening. The battle between the poorly armed rebels and the New South Wales Corps, supported by armed settlers, resulted in some 20 prisoners being killed after their leaders had been taken prisoner while negotiating under a flag of truce. 9 prisoners were later hanged. Many of the rebels were sentenced to floggings of up to 500 lashes, and some were sent to the local coal mines at Coal River, Newcastle. The original Battle of Vinegar Hill took place in County Wexford Island on 21st of June 1798. The original, 1798. The mine rebels executed were Philip Cunningham, hanged without trial at Green Hill, Windsor on 5th or 6th of March 1804. The remaining 8 were court-martialed at Parramatta and sentenced to death. Charles Hill, Samuel Humes, John Place, hanged at Parramatta, March 1804. William John Neal, George Harrington, hanged at Castle Hill, 9th of March 1804. John Brannan, Timothy Hogan, hanged at Sydney, 10 March 1804. Death of Liberty. And there's 4. This plaque was erected, so it says Vinegar Hill here, right? That's the original Vinegar Hill, right? That's what I'd say occurred, right, in County Wexford Island on 21st of June 1798. That's the original. This is the Vinegar Hill in Australia. Okay, this plaque was erected by Irish community in New South Wales, Mine Workers Trust, the Blacktown City Council and the Government of People of Ireland. Donated by Castlebrook Memorial Park. So quite beautiful. And then it's quite a, you know, not a bad plaque. It's quite large. And it says, then it says, in memory of those who fell over this boundary in 1804, the Battle of Vinegar Hill was fought between the New South Wales Corps, which is armed corps, armed civilians and convicts, totalling over 300. May the souls of our pioneers rest in peace. So don't have flags up at the moment. And then this other memorial thing. Then it says Blacktown District Historical Society hereby recognises the research of Kevin Moore, 1920 to 1987, who identified this location as the site of the Battle of Vinegar Hill. So we're standing on the site of Vinegar Hill where people died. Okay, so that's it. And then quite nice kind of mold. You know, I'd say it's pretty much concrete, but it's sculptured anyway, and it all represents you know, the people who fought, there we go, the freedom. So there we go. And this is the actual Vinegar Hill, but where Angus is buried isn't too far away from here. So this whole area, I mean, who knows how long, if they all just went on here, but this is Vinegar Hill right here. This is, yeah. Anyway, folks, this is the actual memorial to where those who died, you know, in 1804 died in the battle. So, okay. Yeah, sorry about the hands. Anyway, folks, I'm just going to go back to the car. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that before I left to go to the shops with Mum. So the actual area where they fell. But where Angus is, if you look over here, Angus isn't far away. Angus is just down there. You know, if you look further, see. So his is on the hill as well. That's why I said Vinegar Hill occurred. He's just on the same hill, but just further down, right? So, and you can see the flats in the distance, and there's a big bridge as well further down. I don't know if you can see it here, just there, it's a big concrete cable bridge. Ned Kelly was an outlaw in the 1800s, and his sister was allegedly raped by a drunken police officer, Fitzpatrick. And he took up arms and started a group where they robbed banks, but his also mother was put into prison for no reason. And he started the leader, Ned Kelly, and I've been seeing Ned Kelly's helmet and everything else like that in Victoria. But he actually started a war against a civil uprising. This is civil war in Australia against the British colonial people. So Ned Kelly was Irish, right? From Irish descent, but he had a big beard, big tough guy, and he took up arms with people who came into his civil army, and they were taking on the British forces like you've never seen. But at one stage, I can't remember exactly where it was, Glen Rowan. There was a train, apparently it had police officers on this train, coal-fired train, and Ned Kelly had put TNT on the tracks, and he was going to blow up the train and kill all these police officers. And then his civil uprising was going to take over. They had a chance of taking over the whole of Australia through the battle. This is another battle that occurred. Anyway, somebody let the police officers know. They spoke out from his grip. Anyway, the train stopped before the bombs went off and blew up the train, you know. And they then went on foot and then surrounded Ned Kelly. And he faced, you know, he was ended up arrested, and all his group was all shot dead by the police officers. And then what happened then is he ended up going to prison, and he got executed. And then right before his execution, he said, "Such is life." That's what he said. "Such is life," he said, like that. But he was fighting for his family, and the colonial, like most governments are run. The American government's a prime example. The American government doesn't give a shit about the people. The people they couldn't give a damn about. And same thing with the Australian government. They didn't give a crap's ass about any of the Australian people either. That's why they send people over to the war, and they don't care when the people get killed, the young soldiers. They just reduce it to reduce the population. Normally occurs where stagflation occurs, high unemployment, high inflation will lead, and most of the countries of the world are like that. America's like that, high unemployment, high inflation, excess population. The government leaders just sit around the table, Putin and will be doing the same thing with all the other leaders of NATO, and they'll be saying, look, we'll have a war here, finish our excess population, you can finish off yours. It'll spur on the economies to rebuild and all that sort of shit, you know. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know. So anyway, I'm off now. It's Graham, the paranormal researcher, and that's it. Okay, Angus, I've got to go. See you next week. We're going to go to the shops anyway. Okay, see you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.